Hello, my name is Bradley Haywood, commonly known in the Yu-Gi-Oh community as Bread. Um, John's allowed me to upload a deck profile on his channel, so shout outs to him. I've been playing Metalfoe's Draco for pretty much the entire format. That is like honestly in the top 3 most enjoyable decks I've ever played. It's just like I love Metalfoes. So when I saw that Aaron McInnes, when I saw him like win that regional in America, like I just thought like I have to play this deck. It's just so cool. So shout out to him as well. I took a kind of different list to a Worcester regional and won that, despite terrible deck building. But I'll elaborate on that later. And then that was about a week before Barkham, and then last week I came 4th at the Newport regional. Both regionals are relatively small. Like Worcester was an 86-man event, and Newport was like a 48-man event. So, but I felt like the back-to-back tops kind of warranted a profile, and I always want to profile this deck if I can. You know, extreme force format is almost over, and like the only thing that we have to look forward to in Europe is Nats now. So that's like post Flames of Destruction. So I'll just talk about the deck and then more on that as we go. So I'm basically just playing like 3 of every Metalfoe's monster that isn't Bismugear. When I saw the initial list, I thought that like it felt wrong to not play Bismugear and Heavy Metalfoe's Fusion and stuff like that, just because it's another form of disruption, and you confuse using the Electromite. Also, like, if you do the combo, you can do the combo in such a way that, like, the last thing you're doing is popping the Bismugear to set the 4 metal, so it's kind of just like that little cherry on top. And I thought it was, like, kind of essential. But then, like, the more I played the deck, the more the quick play spell was, like, potentially a Brick or a Win-More. You'd already have, like, an insane field sometimes, and, like, it almost felt pointless just having the pieces for Outcast in your hand. So for the Newport Regional, I decided to kind of like prioritize consistency, because there were games I was losing where I would hard draw the quick play spell, and I have to like pendulum summon a bunch of like Metalfoe's monsters and then make Orichalc, and I still get 2 forms of disruption, but like I felt like I was sacrificing consistency to maybe have like it's not even a broken like thing at all. It's not even broken. This is actually like the fucking stones. The fact that it's not once per turn is baffling to me. But yeah, you get so much advantage off of this card. It does so much. And the other cool thing is that like with Volflame being level 7, you're able to make Vortex probably a lot more than you can in the average Pendulum deck. I know Jesse Cotton played Janky Magician to try and mitigate that fact, but you know you have to go through playing Garnets essentially, or not Garnets, but like more suboptimal cards in your deck, rather than just playing like engine cards in your deck to facilitate it. 3 Rescue Hamster. This card is the fucking like it's another absurd card, but fun fact: when I won Worcester, I didn't play that card in my deck because when I first read it and I was solitarying hands, I thought, oh, it's just another normal summon. I can just play Rabbit and that should do the job. And I didn't know that you could summon multiple, like you could summon the other 2 copies of itself from the deck. And also its scale effect is absolutely absurd. Like if you summon Electromite and you've already seen this, you're like hard drawn it, you can put this in your extra deck and then use Electromite to bring this back with the combo. Because then what you do is like as you play like through the combo, you can effectively like add 2 monsters back for your extra deck rather than just 1, and then that makes your Pendulum summon bigger because of the way Master Rule 4 works, and like Master Rule 4 changed the way this deck is played like quite a lot. So you want your Pendulum summons to be bigger, and in order for the Pendulum summons to be bigger, like you need to summon from hand, like 2 from hand, 2 from extra deck or something like that. And then the other monsters are 3 Rescue Rabbit. Shoutouts to Grandpa Swan for the American secrets, but they're not first though, so sort it out, bro. And then the remaining monsters are 2 Masterpiece. Masterpiece, the Fun Slaying King. What do you see it? Yeah, Masterpiece just wins games that you probably wouldn't otherwise. The card's just absurd, and I also just love how the diagram engine, like the Draco engine, like synergizes so well with the Metalfoes. So it's just really good. Like the fields you end on are like actually absurd. And now for the spells, 3 diagram, weird, 3 terraforming, and 2 heritage. So Themis told me to play 2 for Bochum. I didn't listen. I wanted to play. I did play 1 though because I felt like I did need this at points for like the pendulum matchup. But what I didn't realize was this card's never a brick. Like you can just like hard draw this with like Masterpiece. No, without Masterpiece, sorry. And you can just have like a bunch of Metalfoe monsters, and this still does something. Like you can pop this to set combination from your deck, and you could pop combination and get a search. And then like if you like fusion, like using the fusion spell, and then you draw a card of fusion, and then that card happens to be one of the 6 of, you can cycle into the second copy and then draw a card, and then there's a broken interaction with Mithrilium that you can then facilitate once you've seen a single diagram. So yeah. Also you can use this like kind of proactively to like play through a field, like pop your opponent's back row. Like I did it once to pop a Chaos Trap Hole, which I thought was quite cute. And then I still played like 4 of these. I'm just trying to like optimize the engine at the moment. Just trying to like keep consistency pretty high. Like Painful Decision is something that you could probably like just play 1 of or something. It sounds really weird and wrong. But it's weird because the card I feel like sometimes conflicts with like Rabbit or Hamster or what's the other card? Oh, I think this, the Astrograph. But no, it's still really good. I love the open-ended option. Being able to grab any scale that I want is really good. And this is just basically the 4th and 5th copy of Vault Flame. And like, what's cool is that because the deck's all engine cards, you can side these out, and then you don't really dampen consistency by doing so. The remaining spells are just Fusion, nice American one, and Upstart Goblin. Yeah, just trying to see the deck as much as I can, all the cards. And I played for the traps, 2 combination. I feel like the American list, it played 3, and I thought that was quite greedy. The card's only broken when you like see diagram, which is like a 6 of. Like that's a really high chance of seeing it, but like I don't think you need to play like 3 copies of a card that is searchable by like the rest of your deck. And yeah, the combos do use like 2, so I wanted to play multiple copies of it at least. And also, it's like you can spin 2 back like Mithrilium and stuff like that for certain combos. And then the last trap is like True King's Return. Like if I could play more of this card, then I would. But hey ho, that's one. So that's the main deck. That's 40 cards. Squad. Donate all the Ludicolos to me, thank. And then shout outs to Team Quiche and JY Sharif. So my extra deck is a bit messed up. But I played for the Link monsters 2 Electromite weird, and then do little chimeras like a contingency for being Reapered. That's the reason why I think I prefer to play this deck over the regular Pendulum deck. I think that like a Bochum, for example, people were like playing cherries, and I feel like if you get cherries, you just end on a field of like Cerberus. We don't end on a field like Cerberus in a level 4 Pendulum monster, because you can then like Pendulum summon and make a board, but the board's always so compromised. Whereas at least with this, I still have a means of to something like maybe Borrowload if I played it, which I didn't. I haven't played it at all. Like when I started playing the deck, Borrowload was something that never really came up in testing. Because like half of the deck is all vanilla monsters. But now I play Hamster, I think I can probably play it more. But it didn't come up at the Newport Regional either. So Borrowload's like one of those things that I think you'd play just because the extra deck space is kind of loose. But yeah, sorry. This is a very good Reaper contingency. And it actually allows you to make big damage like pushes. Because I got Reapered, and I still was able to like Pendulum summon 2 Vol Flames, so that's 2, 9, 2, 9, 19, and then like just kill him. And then the Zephyr Metaltron for like the combos essentially. For the fusion monsters, it's Alcahest, something that I would probably cut. Like, when I changed the deck before the regional, I decided that I would, like, take out the quick play spell and Bismugear, but I would leave Alcahest in, so that if my hand, like, it depends, if I felt like I needed it, then it was still there. You know, the extra deck is something that, like I said, you can kind of take a bit of liberty with. Orichalk and, like, the fucking MVP. This card's, like, absolutely absurd. So Mithrilium is such a good, like, starter, like it's so proactive for, like, playing through a field, but it's also good for, like, the first turn combo, because, like, unlike the average Draco deck where you need to see, like, either one of the two pieces of Summon's Masterpiece and Diagram, you can see one Diagram and a few Metalfoes, which you play 12 of, and you can like spin it back to your hand with Mithrilium and then use it again. But, like, the broken play is you fusion summon this, you get a search off of Diagram, you Mithrilium back the Diagram to your hand, and then you Diagram pop this, and then, like, if you have Volflame in your extra deck, you summon that. And then traditionally you will also have an Astrograph, so you overlay the Astrograph with the Volflame to summon the Absolute, and then you now have Masterpiece the Trap, you have this, and then you can, like, tribute this and the Trap for Masterpiece, and then summon Vortex. So you have Masterpiece Vortex, you can spin a monster with Vortex, you can pop a monster with Return, and you haven't used your Masterpiece pop, and you have a Masterpiece that has to be killed in battle twice. So, yeah, it's pretty good. And then, like, I played these two. These are actually, like, this is broken, but, like, at the start, this was just simply an out to borrow load, because I couldn't play borrow load myself, so I felt like I needed an out to borrow load. And but then I found that, like, this helps me OTK a lot of people, because, like, 5k attack. Also, like, it's good because I used it to, like, attack through a Minerva. So a Minerva, I've used it to attack over, like, ABC letters and stuff, so negating the effect, doing huge damage and just killing them. It's just absolutely absurd. So yeah, this will probably stay in the extra deck for the foreseeable future. Baguska, something I never really make. I don't think it's very good right now. I think the best matchup I can think of that it's good against is Invoke Mech Knight. I don't even think it's good against that either, though, because they have, like, Mind Control's a card you have to respect. And, like, it's weird because, like, this kind of clashes with, like, most of the deck, because you could end on, like, if you end on, like, this and, like, Vortex and then, like, Masterpiece, I mean, you still have this and Masterpiece, but the Vortex is just sitting there doing nothing. It can't do anything because of this. So I'd rather just play one of these two. Like, this is class against World Chalice, 60 cards, and, like, ABC. And this is class against, like, Pendulum and, like, Draco and stuff like that. This is also broken against Draco, actually. You'd play this. You'd be smart. But yeah, that's the extra deck. The only change I'd make in the extra deck is I'd probably, like, cut Alcahest and play Borrow Load. And then lastly, side deck, 3 Sphere mode, because there are certain decks in the format that are, like, relatively break my board. You know, World Chalice, even 60 cards. Like, this isn't out because they always kind of, like, make Nat Beast when they know you're playing, like, a Pendulum deck. So, but they can't play around this at the same time. They always end on, like, Curious, Nat Beast, and something else. So you can just Sphere mode them and, like, keep playing. 3 Ash, 3 Ogre. Kind of like those cards that are, like, not exceptional against anything, but are just good against, like, a variety of matchups. So you need these going second, and I'll talk about this in a sec. And then the cards that don't really need an explanation, they're just, like, win buttons. But yeah, I don't main hand traps because I think that, like, the format's literally, like, almost too diverse. Like, I appreciate that. I really enjoy this format, but I think that it can be too diverse at points where, like, I don't know, deck building kind of suffers. You have to play, like, stuff like this where it's generically good like cards for multiple matchups. So, like, this is good against, like, World Chalice, ABC, World Chalice, 60 cards, and Draco. This is good for, like, Pendulum, ABC, because you can hit, like, the Hanger and the Ravine. But I wouldn't side both these in against, like, Draco because of Imano Iwato. I'd probably, like, side in these 6. These against Pendulum, these against, like, build my board type decks. Also, I play this because like this is something that can be a good sixth card. A hand trap can't be a good sixth card, like because they've already built their board. It doesn't do anything. But yeah, I don't main hand traps because I think that in a format as diverse as this, to believe that you're going to draw the right hand trap at the right time against the appropriate matchup and not against the matchups that it sucks against is like so like terrible, delusional. So yeah, that's the deck. Quickly, a few shout-outs before I go. Shout-outs to my cameraman, Michael Roach, for deciding to turn up to the event with another FTK, and then weirdly getting his shit pushed in by hand traps by my next shout-out, Tim Cox, the UK super agent, Combo Sensei. Shout-outs to Khan Atlas, the guy who TO'd and judged the event last minute, did a good job. Shout-outs to Themis, taught me the heritage interaction, and it's just good to get advice from someone who loves the deck as much as I do. Shout-outs to Nadir for deciding to profile Gemini FTK, but not this. I feel like I'm missing one. Again, shout-outs to John and Aaron McInnes for allowing me to profile the deck. And I think that's it. Thank you.